The best scholarship from Japanese government.
It's a complete academic and financial package.
Start your application as soon as possible.
Hello, I am Ashik. JP Street is starting a new playlist that will bring you the latest international scholarships and research grants from various countries. Considering the non-Keralite students too, I prefer English as the communication language in this specific playlist. The videos in this playlist are exclusively aiming students and research scholars who are interested in a higher education or a research career in India or abroad. If you are interested to know the updates on academic financial supports, I recommend you consider subscribing JP Street. Or if any of your friends or relatives are looking for an academic career, I recommend you to share this video with them. In this video, we will discuss the MEXT scholarship, that is one of the best scholarship from Japanese government. In the coming days, I will try to share some tips that you should consider in preparing any scholarship application or a research grant. So, if you're watching me on Facebook, I recommend to follow JP Street's official YouTube channel so that you will systematically get JP Street's latest videos. It's very simple actually. Open YouTube on your device and search for JP Street. Then you can see JP Street's channel at the top. Click subscribe. Welcome to JP Street. This video will cover all these topics. I will provide a timestamp for every single topic in the YouTube video description. If you want to jump into a specific title, click on that timestamp. What is MEXT actually? MEXT, M-E-X-T. It's one of the best opportunities for international students to pursue their studies in Japan. MEXT is a commonly known shorthand for the Ministry of Education, Culture, Sports, Science and Technology of the Japanese government. Its Japanese name is Monbuka Gakusho. Why MEXT? Why should you consider MEXT? It's simply the most famous Japanese scholarship for international students.
I did my PhD from Kyushu University, Japan with the support of MEXT scholarship. So when I got an acceptance letter from my professor, I did a thorough search about all the scholarships which are applicable for me, and MEXT was on my top priority. That's because it's a complete academic and financial package. It gives you a stipend of around 1,45,000 yen, which is almost 1 lakh Indian rupees. They also cover your to and fro airfare, your tuition fees, your entrance fees, your conference travel expenses, etc. And also a broad category of students can apply for the scholarship, like master students, PhD students, research students. So anyone with a bachelor degree are eligible for this scholarship. And you can apply for the scholarship in two different ways. One is through your embassy and the other one is through your host university. I applied through Kyushu University. So to conclude, MEXT is one of the most prestigious scholarship given by the Japanese government, and I'm really proud to have received that scholarship.
MEXT call is open now. It aims research students. It means any student with a bachelor's degree in hand or anyone in their final year of bachelor's degree can apply now for a master's course. Same way, anyone who has a master's degree in hand or about to appear for a master's degree final examination this year can apply for doctoral course now. MEXT scholarship covers various subjects like mathematics, physics, chemistry or chemical engineering, biology, biotechnology, agriculture, fisheries, environmental science, pharmaceutical science, geology, and various engineering subjects, robotics, information technology, and many more. In short, MEXT provide scholarship for most of the common subjects that our universities in India cover. So I hope most of the students in Indian universities will be able to apply for MEXT. What is the requirement for MEXT? MEXT has specific requirement as usual. First of all, age is the first criteria. Age should be less than 35. It means applicants must have been born on or after April 2, 1986. Qualification for master's course is a bachelor's degree in a relevant field with a minimum of 65% mark. Qualification for doctoral course is a master's degree in a relevant field with a minimum 65% marks. As Harsha mentioned before, there are two types of MEXT scholarships. First one is Embassy recommended MEXT scholarship, and second one Japanese University recommended MEXT scholarship. What is Embassy recommended scholarship? In an Embassy recommended scholarship, the preliminary selection will be done by the respective country. In the case of India, the Japanese embassy in India will do the preliminary assessment of the application, and they will conduct examination for candidates, and the final list of the candidates will be sent to MEXT committee in Japan. What is Japanese University recommended MEXT scholarship? In this case, the university is doing the major role. They will do the preliminary selection of the candidates. Most of the MEXT scholarship students earn their scholarship through embassy recommendation. Normally, you have a high probability for getting an embassy recommended MEXT support. And not that, you may receive only one university recommendation for a MEXT scholarship in a single year. At the same time, you may take 3 choices for embassy recommendation. What is the application procedure? In this video, we will have a look to the MEXT application through embassy recommendation. In the coming days, I will try to explain how to lodge your application through university recommendation too. So consider subscribing JP Street and stay tuned. In order to get an embassy recommendation from India, basically every applicant should submit a preliminary application form to the Japanese embassy in India. You may download an application form from official website of Japanese embassy in India, and you can send the scanned copy into scholarship-india@nd.mofa.go.jp. Keep in mind that the application deadline is 9th July. It's very close actually. Even if you haven't started your application so far, keep in mind that the deadline is 9th July and start working on it soon. Dedicate yourself to it and prepare a strong and complete application for MEXT scholarship. First of all, narrow your research study.
If you want to be a MEXT scholar, then narrow down your field of study and your research area, then start contacting a professor with whom you want to work with. This is one of the most crucial steps in the application.
Try to use all your connections in Japan, like friends, relatives, anybody in Japan for a help. Don't worry, even if you fail to get an embassy recommendation this time, the time you invest in your application is not a waste.
The professor is willing to accept you, then things can go smoother. And don't worry, even if you don't pass through the embassy recommendation, there is a university recommended MEXT scholarship to which you can again apply with the same professor and same research proposal. So start the search for the professor as soon as possible.
MEXT scholarship through university recommendation, which is usually open after September this year. So I will explain how to do this procedure in upcoming videos. After all, preparing for an internationally non-scholarship is a learning process which will surely worth in your life. So go ahead with your application. For filling up your preliminary application form, you need a short research theme and 3 university choices with professor's details. So first, decide your research area and contact professors in Japan as early as possible. I know sometimes it's quite hard to get a response from professors, but we have to respect their busy schedule. But keep trying to contact various professors in your specific area. And note that it will be a summer holidays in August, so it may be even harder to get a reply during the holidays. So I recommend you to start searching your professor very soon. Even if you cannot find a host institute before lodging your preliminary application, submit your application with your own 3 choices and confirm your host institute before you clear your preliminary application screening. Then you will have a chance to update your university choices in second phase of your application process. At the same time, review your research area as much as possible. Prepare your research proposal according to the guideline given by the embassy. And don't hesitate to take support from your well-wishers and supervisors to review your application. Research is not a one-man show program. It's a teamwork. So don't feel shame to seek help. I understand you will need to devote some effort to this application, but it will be worth in your future for sure. Once you clear the preliminary application screening, the embassy will directly ask you to prepare a detailed application. So don't sit back after your preliminary application. Be optimistic and prepare the documents that the embassy indicated on their website. I will give the link in the YouTube video description below. You can have a look. For more details, you may feel free to contact the Embassy of Japan in New Delhi, Mr. S. Sinha, who is in charge of MEXT 2021 call. Phone number is 9953018030. You can also email them at scholarship-india@end.mofa.go.jp. Once you submit your detailed application, Embassy in India will screen your documents in July 2020, and the qualified candidates will be invited for a written examination. The examination is currently scheduled for first or second week of September 2020. Meantime, you can invest your time to prepare for the examination. The past examination questions are also available online. I will share the link in the YouTube video description below. Considering the current situation related to COVID-19 pandemic, the examination schedule may be varied, but be hopeful that the entire globe will be able to come back with a normal and healthy life as soon as possible, probably before September. So hopefully you can attend examination on time. If the schedule works as planned, by end of September, the embassy will notify the first screening result. This is the most difficult and important stage of MEXT application to get embassy recommendation. Once you get the embassy recommendation, MEXT in Japan will start screening your documents in October 2020. It will take a long time for processing, and the result will be notified maybe in February. And you can come to Japan in April 2021 for your studies. So prepare for your studies in Japan. Drop your doubts in the comment box below. I will try to respond as soon as possible. Hope to see you in Japan very soon. I wish you all the best.
All the best to all the future MEXT.